What is up YouTube, James back here, and today we are starting the analysis series on my channel. This is where I go over individual Pokemon in VGC 2018 and basically I break them down for everyone on what they can do, what roles they have, what kind of moves, what you should expect from these Pokemon, and some sets that you could run into in the future. Knowledge is a powerful weapon, and it's always great to have knowledge on all Pokemon potentially that you can run into. So today we are going over one of the new Ultra Beasts. We are going to go over Naganadel, and let's just get started. So Naganadel, Poison Dragon type with Beast Boost for its ability, which increases the Pokemon's highest stat when it knocks out a Pokemon. This includes your ally and your opponent. So looking at its base stats, it's got 73 HP, 73 attack, 73 defense, 127 special attack, 73 special defense, and 121 speed. So it's a very fast Pokemon and has pretty good special attack. The natures you're going to want to use for this Pokemon are usually going to be Timid or Moz, because this Pokemon's going to have a lot of offensive pressure and you're going to want to capitalize on either outspeeding a lot of Pokemon or just being able to capitalize on as much damage as possible. Otherwise, this Pokemon does have some options for some support sets, so if you do want to go that route, Bold or Calm Natures are the two that you're going to want to use. So strengths of Naganadel: it has a great special attack and speed stat, which makes it a great offensive sweeper. Has great coverage and access to a fantastic move pool. Great offensive typing in Dragon and Poison, and access to Nasty Plot and a few support moves. However, it does have its flaws. Doesn't have the best defenses, with 73s all across the board in HP, physical defense, and special defense. Without a boosting item or setting up a Nasty Plot, it can miss knockouts on Pokemon that take super effective damage. And this isn't really a flaw, but it can hurt sometimes. While running max speed Timid, you will get a speed beast boost, and this doesn't hurt sometimes, and it can actually be beneficial in, like, you know, when you're facing a Choice Scarf user. Like, you're able to pick up a knockout and then you're going to be able to outspeed your opponent's Choice Scarf user. However, it can hurt if, like, it's not doing anything or that speed boost isn't really relevant in the game. You would rather have special attack to try to pick up some knockouts. But otherwise, yeah, that's pretty much it for the strengths and flaws. Let's get into the moves and the item choices you're going to see on Naganadel. So the common moves you're going to see from Naganadel, these are pretty much the top moves you'll see on standard staple Naganadel sets, are going to be Sludge Bomb, Draco Meteor, Nasty Plot, Protect, Tailwind, Heat Wave, Flamethrower, Fire Blast, depending on what fire move your opponent might want to run, and Substitute. Its other viable moves that it has are Dragon Pulse, Sky Drop, Helping Hand, Dragon Tail, U-Turn, Snarl, Air Slash, Thunderbolt, and you could run a hidden power choice of Ice or Ground. Ice for Landorus, because Naganadel does outspeed Landorus and can fire off an HP Ice and might be able to pick up a knockout if it's not carrying Assault Vest or isn't bulky in general. Or Ground, because this Pokemon really can't hit Heatran otherwise. It does also get access to Ally Switch, I should mention. However, with such a frail Pokemon, I'm not sure if Ally Switch might be the best one. Of course, it could work maybe if you're trying to absorb a Toxic. So the items that you're going to commonly see on Naganadel: Life Orb, because it does affect a lot of Naganadel's calcs that we're going to see later on. The Z crystals, you can run Poisonium, Dragonium, Firium, and you know, you can run some others, but those are the main ones you're probably going to be running if you're going to run a Z crystal. Choice Specs, which allows Naganadel to pick up some certain knockouts. Choice Scarf, which allows it to outspeed a lot of Pokemon, like Scarf Landorus, for instance. Also allows it to outspeed Rain, Ludicolo, where, well, at least Modest if you're running Magus Naganadel. You can also run Timid to outspeed Timid Ludicolo. The Focus Sash, so you can help it basically survive one attack, maybe want to get a Tailwind or maybe a Nasty Plot up. 50% or Citrus Berries, depending on your preference, since this Pokemon can run a bit of a support moveset, so you can decide to run one of these items to help Naganadel's bulk. However, yeah, it's up to preference once again. Assault Vest, which you know, Naganadel's got some really cool moves, especially like Sky Drop, Snarl, U-Turn, as well as his offensive moves could be really nice, so you might want to run 4 moves, so don't really have room for Life Orb or Z Crystal, and maybe offensive items are already taken from your team, so maybe try an Assault Vest because it might help out, or Seeds to help its defenses in a support moveset. Now let's talk about the partners you might want from Naganadel. Fake Out's always nice, which can help it set up Nasty Plot or Tailwind. Intimidate to allow Naganadel to survive some physical attacks that it wouldn't be able to survive normally. Terrains are really nice for Naganadel, as well as immunities and resistances to its weaknesses Ground, Psychic, and Dragon, and as well as Ice. Ways to handle common Choice Scarf users, because common Choice Scarf users usually include Tapu Lele and Landis, which are able to outspeed Naganadel and just able to pick up the knockout before Naganadel can do anything. Pokemon that can hit Steel types, because Naganadel can hit Steel types. It does have a Fire type. It does have access to Fire type moves. However, really doesn't usually end up picking up the knockout. And these Steel type Pokemon can usually pick up the knockout Naganadel. So it might be better just to be able to have other Pokemon handle Steel types, especially since one of those Pokemon are Heatran, and as I said, can't really hit Heatran at all unless you have that hidden power Ground. Steel types are really helpful for Naganadel. It covers the Ice, Dragon, and Psychic weakness of Naganadel, with only sharing the same type weakness to Ground. Offensive sweepers, especially if you want to run like a Nasty Plot setup set, or if you want to run a Tailwind set, like offensive sweepers are really nice because you can try to pick up early quick knockouts as soon as possible, and redirectors can help it basically stay on the field for longer, set up Nasty Plot easier, and sweep. So partners you might want to consider: Kangaskhan is always great for Fake Out pressure. Landisfarian is a ground immunity plus intimidate factor. Scrafty and Hitmontop can offer Fake Out as well as intimidate, while Hitmontop can also provide quick guard, wide guard support. Tapu Lele, Tapu Bulu, Tapu Fini, and Tapu Koko can provide their own respective terrains, which can help Naganadel, as well as being a fairy type can help against the Dragon type weakness. Aegislash, Metagross, Heatran are Steel types. Again, that can help with Naganadel's weaknesses, of course, you know, being weak to Ground, but Aegislash can carry Wide Guard for Earthquakes. So Cresselia is also another one. It's resistant to Psychic, doesn't really take much from Ice type attacks in general, as well as the fact that it is immune to Ground. Gardevoir, great offensive Pokemon that can benefit under Tailwind, so paired with Naganadel can do some really good work, as well as the fact that it is a fairy type, so it is immune to the Dragon weakness of Naganadel. Gyarados, which is a ground immunity, as well as can provide Intimidate. Celesteela basically covers most of Naganadel's weaknesses pretty well, other than being neutral to Ice. However, the fact that Ice type attacks don't really tend to do much to Celesteela anyway because of its really great defenses. And Clefairy for redirection, because of the fact with Friend Guard and redirection, Naganadel can set up Tailwind, Nasty Plot, and do a lot of damage. So some checks, counters, or basically Pokemon that Naganadel struggles against in general. Choice Scarf users, especially Landisfarian and Tapu Lele, as I mentioned before, can easily just outspeed Naganadel, pick up the knockout. Fast Pokemon that outspeed Naganadel. Naganadel is a very frail Pokemon, so it's not exactly going to be appreciating hits, especially from Pokemon that can outspeed it before it can do anything, potentially pick up the knockout. Even Tapu Koko can be annoying because a Volt Switch is still going to hurt, and then it can revenge KO Naganadel later in the game. Steel types, again, Naganadel doesn't really appreciate Steel types, as they can usually take the fire type attack and then just do a lot of damage or KO Naganadel back, especially Heatran that walls it. Mega Swampert Rain. Swampert can basically outspeed Naganadel in Rain and pick up the knockout with Earthquake or Ice Punch. Trick Room. Naganadel is a very fast Pokemon. It's also very frail, so it can't really help against stalling out Trick Room, as well as, you know, basically probably going to be one of the slowest Pokemon out there under Trick Room. Paralysis is very annoying, especially with like Thunder Wave, because of the fact that Naganadel likes to rely on its speed stat to outspeed a lot of Pokemon, pick up quick KOs before it can be KO'd back, and bulky Pokemon in general that can take Naganadel's attacks and basically just pick up the KO right back because of Naganadel's frail defenses. So The Pokemon that can help against Naganadel: Landorus Fairy and Tapu Lele, common choice scarf users. Tapu Lele can live unboosted Sludge Bomb. Landorus Fairy with the Assault Vest can survive like random HP Ices or Draconium, Draco Meteors, or just attacks in general. Could also run Choice Scarf again to outspeed and pick up the KO before anything happens. Cresselia basically is able to take Naganadel's attacks, can maybe set a Thunder Wave or a Trick Room up, or just do a lot of damage, especially if it's the offensive. Cresselia can actually pick up the knockout onto Naganadel. And otherwise, yeah, Naganadel's not really going to be able to do too much back. Same thing with Gothitelle, can take those attacks, fire Thunder Wave, Trick Room, and do a lot of damage with Psychic or Psyshock. Heatran and Aegislash are steel types that can really handle Naganadel, because Fire Blast or Hidden Power Ground isn't usually going to be able to pick up the knock on these Pokemon, and they can just fire off an attack and probably either do a lot of damage or pick up the KO on Naganadel straight away. Swampert, again, even regular Swampert can give it trouble. Mega Swampert in range can definitely just blow back Naganadel by outspeeding it, but regular Swampert should be able to take like a Draco Meteor and just be able to fire off an Earth Power or Ice Beam and just pick up the knockout onto Naganadel itself if it has some investment. Metagross could potentially knock out Naganadel if it's a bulky set, or if the Naganadel chooses not to run Fire Blast and maybe a Life Orb or Choice Specs variant. Celesteela can really wall Naganadel, although Naganadel could set up a nasty plot. However, has to rely on hitting Fire Blast, and Heavy Slam can do a bunch of damage if Naganadel is not set up. Tyranitar can do a lot of damage to Naganadel and takes its hits pretty well, since Naganadel can't really hit Tyranitar for super effectively, and with the Sand special defense boost can make it really annoying to KO Tyranitar even at +2. Suicune is a Pokemon that can take Naganadel's hits really well. It's a really great, especially defensive Pokemon. Can fire off a Tailwind, can fire off Icy Winds and Ice Beams to help control Naganadel and make it easier. Thundurus Incarnate can spread a Prankster Thunder Wave, which can really hurt the Naganadel's role in the game. And Weavile can basically just outspeed Naganadel and pick up the knockout with an Ice type attack before it can do anything. So let's go over some damage calculations that I have lined up. I'm not going to go through every single one of them, but yeah, a lot of them do focus on the Life Orb set, and as you can see from the calcs, Life Orb Fire Blast can OHKO max HP Mega Mawile, as well as KO non-bulky Mega Metagross a good percentage chance of the time. +2, Naganadel can pick up a lot of KOs, especially on very common Pokemon like Mega Kangaskhan, like Landorus Fairy, as well as Aegislash. Z-Move at +2 can be a real threat because it can pick up some knockouts at +2, but otherwise it's pretty weak if it doesn't have it. And yeah, as you can see, Tyranitar, for instance, can survive the +2 Draco Meteor if it's not boosted from Naganadel. And yeah, Naganadel at +2 can do a lot of work. At neutral, with no boost, it's not really going to be able to do much, however. So some defensive calculations, as you can see, Naganadel is not exactly a bulky Pokemon. You're going to want maybe Intimidate, Redirection, or Fake Out in general to help Naganadel. Basically, as you can see, it doesn't really like taking the most common type of attacks. It can survive a few, but even resisted hits, as you can see. Feel free to pause the video to look at all these damage calculations that I do have lined up for some samples. But basically, yeah, it doesn't really like taking hits as well, because it can't really take these hits very well at all, especially if you have Life Orb. Don't forget that is taking 10% of your HP every time, so that's just weakening the Naganadel even further, and 1 or 2 Life Orb hits might just seal up Naganadel's fate. So I have listed some sample spreads for everyone that you can check down below, but we have the Life Orb Naganadel for the first set, which is pretty standard, the Life Orb Nasty Plot set. You're going to want to run a Timid Nature and max special attack and max speed. You're going to want to basically capitalize out this Pokemon with its max special attack, basically, and max speed to outspeed Mega Salamence, max special attack in order to, do as much damage as possible, especially getting a few rolls in your favor. And you're going to want to run Sludge Bomb, your choice of a fire type move, or Dragon Stab, Nasty Plot, and Protect. This Naganadel I feel like would be the most common Naganadel, just because it does a lot of work, especially at +2. The next set we do have is a Focus Sash set. And this one's usually more of a support one, can get Tailwind up. Maybe you could run Nasty Plot set as well. You can run Nasty Plot as well, but yeah, +2 doesn't really do much otherwise. And I think Life Orb or Z move would be better, as you could run, you know, your choice of Sludge Bomb as well as, you know, maybe a Dragon Stab, but you could also run Sky Drop, Snarl as support, Tailwind. You might want to choose Protect, a Fire type move, or a Hidden Power to help it basically handle other Pokemon. You could run an Assault Vest Naganadel, which is the third set that I've run, and this one is interesting because of the fact, you know, Naganadel can help maybe for some support as well as, you know, good coverage, and the fact that, you know, sometimes you want to run 4 moves on Naganadel and, you know, you don't want to run Protect, so yeah, Life Orb is probably not going to be the best item choice for it. Maybe you want to have it live a turn, but your Focus Sash is already taken. So why not try an Assault Vest? And this one we're going with a Modest Nature. This one's a Modest Nature, and I believe this spread does outspeed Max Speed Mega Kangaskhan, if I remember correctly. Or maybe it was Garchomp. I'm pretty sure it was Mega Kangaskhan. With enough bulk in order to live 3 Psychics from non-offensive Cresselia. Basically Cresselia with only like 4 special attack investment. And yeah, your choice of Sludge Bomb, a Hidden Power type, Fire type coverage, Snarl, Sky Drop. You could also run, like, you know, Dragon Stab once again. Yeah. And finally, the Choice Scarf set, which I did mention earlier, which allows it to outspeed Ludicolo in Rain. This one allows it to outspeed Modest Ludicolo in Rain, since Timid Ludicolo isn't really very common at all, or you hardly see ever. With basically 180 speed, does allow it to outspeed Rain Ludicolo by 1 point, as well as basically just trying to capitalize off damage. So access to Sludge Bomb, Hidden Power, Ice or Ground, you know, to hit Landisfarne or Heatran, your choice of Fire type move, and then another coverage option, or maybe you want to go U-turn for some momentum. But otherwise, I think that's going to be it for Naganadel. Let's get to the conclusion. Naganadel has very strong potential for its ability to pick up fast knockouts or offer support. Its defenses are a little bit under average, so most likely will not be able to get many attacks off or survive many hits without support. Without Life Orb, a Nasty Plot boost, or using a Z move, Naganadel can struggle to pick up knockouts in the beginning and can be very underwhelming. With its great typing, speed, and special attack, it wouldn't be a surprise to see some strong usage, but at the same time it could also fall down because of the fact it's a frail Pokemon, and even with that amazing coverage, you know, might not just be worth it to some players. But I hope this covers everything you need to know about Naganadel, the options that it has, the moves that you're most likely going to commonly see, some kind of tricks that it can run, some of the sets it can use. But I hope this basically covers all the general information that you need to know about Naganadel for VGC. Thank you all for watching. You can check out me down below with all the stuff linked down below, and if you do enjoy the series, please feel free to leave a like down below. I'll be trying to do 3 Pokemon analysis every single week on the channel alongside my VGC series, so we'll have 3 individual Pokemon be analyzed on this channel every week. So if you like that, please feel free to show that like button some support. But otherwise, thank you all for watching, have a good day, and I will catch you around in another video.